We are live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in at this time. Everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Whew. Got the win. I'm happy about the win. Defense. I mean, this team looks like a completely different team defensively. They have been getting after it defensively. But, man, Anthony Davis, one, he had a bad game, right? Okay, fine. Bad games happen. Right? Everyone has bad games. You know, he was impacting the game in other ways, defensively, helping rebound the basketball, things like that. You're at the end of the game, opportunity to ice it, and you choke again. Dude, I don't know what is going on with Anthony Davis in crunch time. Seriously. Like, Anthony Davis in crunch time at the free throw line might be the worst guy in the league this season. Like, he is awful. Awful. It's like, it's ridiculous at this point. Thank you, Rui, for being able to just tap it out. I'm glad that he just tapped it out and didn't try to, like, you know, because you see guys like try to fight to secure the ball. No, tap it out. You knew AD was there. You knew LeBron. The guys were there. I like that was what they did. But, man, Anthony Davis, man, I mean, this is inexcusable. Inexcusable at this point. Like I said, he might be the worst free throw shooter at the end of games in the league. It's crazy, but excellent game from LeBron James. LeBron James absolutely killed it. D'Angelo Russell was excellent. Offensively, we weren't great this game, but I really do like our defense. We're a completely different team defensively. Here's my concern, okay, is that the Lakers will look at this and go like, we're okay. We just need to go get a piece or two. Like, we still need a trade, right? We still need a trade. We still need something to get done. Imagine if we had real athletes and two-way guys out there doing the things that we're doing here. We'd be ridiculous at that point, right? Where we actually had guys that could shoot with consistency, guys that can maybe make some plays. This team would be completely transformed overnight. I mean, look at what this team's bought in defensively, which I love. I love that this team is putting in the effort, putting in the energy on the defensive end. But again, we need legit two-way guys, right? Because the offensive side of things is where the concern is, right? We held Sacramento once again under 100 points, but we only scored 103, right? Because we couldn't shoot, couldn't buy buckets. A lot of it was inside. We were from three-point range? We shot 25.7%. We were 9 of 35 from three-point range, right? Like, again, love the defense. Love that we're getting stops. We've had the second best defensive rating in the league now the last 6 games because we were holding teams at 102 points. Well, we just held Sacramento under 100 points. So, again, Lakers defensively have been fantastic these last 5-6 games. But beyond that, we need this team to start hitting shots, right? We gotta start hitting threes. But again, great effort all around, right? There were some goods, there were some bads, there were some in-betweens. I continue to like what Max Christie's doing as far as like the hustle plays, the dirty work, diving for loose balls, keeping balls alive. Gabe Vincent, as it continues to just be more improved, right? He didn't have the 12 points, rebounds, and assists that he had last game, but still, he hitting threes, defensive impact. You love to see it. It's what you want to see. Cam Reddish, man, can't shoot to save his life, but he was getting after it. 2 offensive rebounds for and ones and getting a transition play. Like, I love what we saw in that regard. But LeBron James carried for the most part. Not a fan of 1 of 8 from 3, but everyone shot poorly from 3. 13 of 24 overall, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, 32 points. The guy was ridiculous. He's also done a much better job these last 3 games of taking care of the basketball, and a lot of it has been him not forcing the issue, right? He had like 2 passes this game where I felt like he forced the issue, where previously he was doing it, every other possession. It was, we talked about it heavily. I love LeBron's letting things develop. You don't have to force every entry pass. You don't have to force everything. And I like that he's taking better care of the basketball, Reaves has been taking better care of the basketball. I love to see that. D'Lo has been much improved, much better overall. D'Angelo Russell gave us a 20-piece. Austin Reaves gave us 16. Kind of reversed, right? First game, Austin Reaves gave us 25, and then D'Lo gave us 16. This time, D'Lo gave us 20. And it's funny because D'Lo was 3 of 7 from 3, just like Reaves was the other night. Reaves 1 of 7 from 3-point range this game, but 5 assists, 4 rebounds. I love to see it. 16 points, 6 of 14 overall from the floor. I love that he was being aggressive. Same thing with D'Lo. I love that both were being aggressive. They weren't settling. They were looking for their shots. That's the kind of thing that we want to continue to see from Reaves and D'Lo. Both of them getting after it on the defensive side, disrupting passing lanes, right? Getting in the teeth of the defense, applying pressure. Those are the things that I love to see. But Anthony Davis, man, look, I can look past the poor shooting night, right? 4 of 10. He only took 4 attempts, period, right? 10 attempts, period, right? 4 of 10, not great, right? He should have at least been 6 of 10. In my opinion. So it still would have only been 14 points, 15 rebounds. Saw last game 20 and 21 or 21 and 20. Again, I'm all for the all-around game. I'm not against Anthony Davis, not scoring 40 every night, right? Like I've said, I actually prefer the playmaking 80. I actually prefer the 23 to 25.80 with, 15 rebounds, 5 to 7 assists, steals, blocks, and just kind of a better all-around game. I think the Lakers are actually better overall when Anthony Davis rather than him. Obviously, there's games and times where you need him to dominate. You need him to go and take over. But, I mean, again, this game, the 5 turnovers, again, got to take better care of the basketball. I understand that they're trapping you and they're making things difficult on the interior, trying to make sure that everyone else beats you but Anthony Davis. I get that. You have to overcome that. You have to figure that out. But again, I can look past the points. Gave you 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, right? I can look past the points. I can't look past the crunch time free throws, man. This guy, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. You got to make your free throws. This guy might be the worst crunch time free throw shooter in the league. It's ridiculous. I mean, this guy is, an 80% free throw shooter until it's crunch time, until it matters. Then when it matters, it's like, the guy's basically null and void, non-existent. That is incredibly frustrating to me. But anyway, let's dive into all of the super chats, all the regular chats, all of that stuff. Real quick, take a quick second, hit that like button for me. Let's get over 100 likes. Hit that subscribe button for me, please, if you're not subscribed. And let's get into it. So, what's up, Bluck? Appreciate you being here. Anthony Davis still can't make free throws. Yeah, again, I can't look past that, man. Got to hit your free throws, right? Like, again, bad shooting nights, bad scoring nights. He only took 10 shots. I can look past that because he impacted the game in other ways. I can't look past him missing free throws when it matters. If Rui doesn't get his hand on that ball, which he did give Sabonis a little shove, the commentators were even like, I can't believe, that they relax. Sabonis was doing that all game, right? He had a play on Rui where he literally just pushed Rui out of the way and got the offensive rebound, right? But if he doesn't get his hand on that, we have another Orlando situation on our hands, especially the way De'Aaron Fox was shooting and scoring the basketball game, right? Easily, I could see De'Aaron Fox doing what Franz did, right? Can't have that. Can't have that at all. It's an ugly win, but a win is a win. I'm right there with you, Speed. Look, I'll take a win. Good win. Look, I've said it is very hard to beat any team twice in a 3-day span. And we play them again at home in a week, literally a week from today, I believe, on the 28th. So, again, we're 3-0 against them. I think we match up really well. Look, everything that I've talked about with Sacramento going into the season, DeMar DeRozan was the death of this team. It was the death of this team. That was the last thing they needed. They needed more size and two-way guys. And instead, they went the complete opposite of what you needed. A guy that is heavy in isolation, that doesn't shoot threes, that can't defend, right? You already have Fox and Monk. You don't need another heavy isolation scorer. But a bunch of people told me I was an idiot. A bunch of Kings fans, over on Headstand Sports were like, you don't know ball. Well, one of us was right? Like, they're just not, they don't have size. They can't defend, right? Why did that happen? Because they don't have any size, right? Like, we were just dominating the glass, being physical, being aggressive. Like, we didn't have to have Coloco out there because they're so small. We could have Rui, Cam Reddish, and LeBron James, and you're bigger, and you're still bigger than, Sacramento. It's just like, those are the differences. I mean, but that's the problem. He's a superstar. There's going to be times. He's got to hit him. He's got to figure it out. Yeah, I just was talking about the same thing, man. Right? Like, that's my concern. Like, this easily could have been an Orlando situation all over again. Let's see. Man, LeBron and AD have been driving us nuts lately. That says AD can't hit free throws again. I mean, LeBron was great. Look, I'm not against criticizing LeBron. I criticized LeBron. I didn't like that 3 he took, right? When we were up to, I think we were up 2 or whatever before we got that other stop, before the AD free throws. I didn't like that 3-point shot. But look, him and D'Lo carried pretty much this entire game. AD, it's just, he's got to hit his free throws, man. Oh my gosh, is it just me or did anyone else have flashback? Yeah, to match game. Yeah. Bro, thank you, Rui, for that tip. And Austin making those free throws. Yeah, facts, without a doubt. AD needs to make 1,000 free throws before the next game. Yeah. Orlando flashbacks. Yep. So lucky that we got the win as it stands. Yeah. Look, I'll take it. A win's a win. I will take it. Like I said, it's not. I don't think anyone should have expected the Lakers to blow them out this game. Again, you just beat them and embarrassed them on their home court. You knew that they were going to come out with intensity. You knew that they were going to have adjustments. They were going to play just a better game, right? This game, you should have known, was going to be tight, was going to be close, which it was. It was tight and it was close. But you closed it out. You got it done. Wasn't pretty. I would have preferred a better kind of seal the deal type win, especially if AD makes his free throws, right? So we don't have to worry about Rui and all that stuff. Like, when he missed that first free throw, it was just like, oh no. Like, you knew that second one was coming. You knew it was like, oh man, he's about to miss this next one, isn't he? Because that's the first one's the one that's like the nerve-wracking one, right? But then, it's just, he probably had Orlando flashbacks too. DeMar can never be, LeBron EFX. He's like, I saw some stat, he's like 15 and like 50 or something like that, or 15 and now like 48, something crazy like that all time against LeBron. Like, it's crazy. This is a Reaves deal that we need. Yes, I love the aggression, the defense. Look, we still need a trade. Everything that we need still exists. It's just the team has been much better defensively, been getting after it. You're getting better production, effort from guys. I really like to see that. 100%. DeMar ruined the Kings. It was the last thing they needed. That literally was the last thing they needed. It made zero sense. As soon as they trade, even on this channel, I made a video about, like, they just got DeMar. People were like, oh man, Lakers. I was like, no, Sacramento, you can forget about Sacramento. Sacramento just essentially destroyed their season by trading for DeMar DeRozan. It was the worst thing they could have done. And I'm telling you. 80 choked at the line. Yeah. Again, this cannot happen. Need everyone they can get, especially until we can pull off a trade, right? I like that we keep getting reports. I like that we keep getting news that, like, hey, trades are getting done, or that trades are expected to get done, and that they're, that they're working on trades and stuff. You got to keep winning games, buy as much time as possible. The more time, like I said, when you're winning games and you're ahead and you're 4, 5, 6 games over 500, the conversations for a trade are completely different, because now you're coming from a point of, hey, we would like this guy rather than we need this guy. If Lakers were still, at 500 or, out of the play-in or something like that right now, all of a sudden it's one of those things where it's like, okay, like, hey, we really need this guy. It's just, you get to a different point of discussion. Go Tyler. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. AZ, thank you. I won't lie. LeBron sucked in the second half. He was big when we needed him. I mean, he wasn't what he was in the first half, for sure. But he when we needed him to kind of keep pace, right? Oh, they're starting to creep back. LeBron hits a big 3 or puts his head down and gets to the basket. I like particularly in that fourth quarter. He came out, gave us 2 straight buckets to really kind of give us that cushion. He wasn't what he was in the first half, but Anthony Davis was supposed to pick it up in the second half, right? And he did it. Luckily, D'Lo was great. Austin Reaves picked it up. So we were able to squeeze this one out. 80, you cannot leave until you've made 1,000 for the effect. And hey, Gabe, back-to-back great games. See what you're missing, Washington. Gabe will make you a title contender, effect. No, Gabe Vincent's looking good. I really like it. Defensively, he's been much better, much more active. I love to see that. Shooting the 3 ball. He's shooting, I think, 43% going into this game. I think it was 43% top of my head. The last 10 games, 10 or 11 games. Which is good, right? If he can maintain that, beautiful. Goat James, yeah, he was fantastic. If we can get Valanciunas, and that will help AD get some rest. Yeah, look, Valanciunas isn't my favorite option. I'm not big on Valanciunas. However, I'm not against Valanciunas. Again, he's probably 5th on my list of centers that I want to see the Lakers get. However, I do think it's the most likely. I do think it's probably the thing that's going to happen. I think bare minimum, the Lakers trade for Valanciunas. And there is a lot of good and benefits with Valanciunas that you don't get with some of the other options outside of Nikola Vucevic, but at half the cost. Obviously, defensively, athletically, those are concerns. But again, big difference. There's a big difference, because one of the biggest kind of questions or complaints that I get about Valanciunas is the Lakers played him off the court twice, right? And the game before the play-in game, and then in the play-in game. But here's the difference. New Orleans, there's 2 major differences. New Orleans, we're utilizing him as your starting center. Big difference when you have a guy that you're counting on to play 35 to 40 minutes in a must-win game, as opposed to a guy that you're looking to just come in and play 15 to 20 minutes on any given night. Second big thing is they don't have an Anthony Davis, right? That's another big difference. So you can slot Valanciunas and Anthony Davis next to each other, and a lot of the things that the Lakers were able to do to draw Valanciunas and get him out of the game, you can't do because Anthony Davis can just sit down there. Right? The problem is they would just draw Valanciunas out and get him to switch, and then he's on an island, he's cooked. And they have Zion and Troy Murphy III, because Brandon Ingram wasn't healthy, right? In that closeout game, the in-season tournament game, or not in-season tournament, the play-in game, Ingram was in, but Zion was out, right? That's the difference. So you have that help. So when teams do try to pressure and get him off, you have an Anthony Davis that can close out and camp down low if need. And then he just needs to be serviceable. Valanciunas would be fine. Queens can't beat the Lakers this season. Complete 180 from last season. Yeah, 100%. Well, and it's funny because Anthony Davis before this season was 0-12 or something like that against Sabonis, right? That was the big talk. Again, I told you, DeMar DeRozan was the death of this team. Sacramento was on the right track. It's so frustrating to me. Obviously, I'm a Laker fan, so Laker channel. So good. But the basketball fan in me, the let me remove my Laker bias for a moment and just fairly evaluate this team. I don't know why teams do stuff like this, right? What did I say in the offseason for those that were here and follow along, right? I said Minnesota and Sacramento were going to poo-poo the bed, that you could forget about them. And I said that Dallas wasn't going to be as good, that they'd still be good. They'd still be a playoff team, but they weren't going to be as good. Dallas hasn't been as good this year. Klay Thompson's been hit or miss for them. And Timberwolves, they're probably a play-in team. Maybe they get into the playoffs, but they're a first-round exit at best. I don't know why they traded Karl Anthony Towns. You didn't have to yet. I understand the money and the future flexibility and all that stuff, but you could have waited, right? You were just in the conference finals, right? There was no reason you had to trade Cat in the offseason. And you probably would have gotten more for him had you waited till the trade deadline if you really wanted to move off of him. And then Sacramento, again, all they needed to do was stay the course. Stay the course. Go get a legit 3-and-D guy, ideally 2, and your money, right? If you could have upgraded Harrison Barnes to your money, you would have been good. They panicked because Malik Monk got hurt. And when Malik Monk got hurt, their offense just completely disappeared, right? Because De'Aaron Fox was the only other person that could create for them. So they were like, okay, we need to go get it. They just panicked. How often are you expecting Malik Monk to be hurt? If any team is missing their second best scorer, guess what? They're probably not going to be very good offensively, right? It's just, I don't know why some of these like organizations just like go, okay, this sounds like a great idea. I don't know, especially when something like with Sacramento, it was so blatantly obvious what they need, right? It's crazy to me. LeBron cursed AD, and now he can't read those. I don't know what it is, but let's see. LeBron James. Oh, on defense. Oh, defense. Yeah. LeBron James, that's another big thing too that you really got to give LeBron credit for. He's been getting after it defensively, right? For a guy that last season and a good majority of this season was kind of just camping out on the defensive side. I mean, how many times do we see him not even try to challenge, right? Not even like, just like guy has it and it's like his closeout man, and he just turns around and waits for the shot to go up to maybe grab the rebound, to like him being active, guarding De'Aaron Fox, switching out, defending Murray and DeMar and all these guys. Like, oh, I love it, man. I love it. I love seeing it. Be the example, right? Set the tone. Like everyone else, hey, if a 40-year-old, year 22 LeBron can get after it defensively, no one else has an excuse. No one else has an excuse. I get AD played hurt, but no excuses for these. Yeah, that's my point. Again, I can look past the poor offensive night. It happens. It's fine, right? Like, I can look past that. I cannot look past the missed free throws in crunch time, right? Bad shooting nights happen. Anthony Davis was great in all the other areas. Excellent defensively, excellent rebounding, right? Impacted the game in a multitude of ways beyond just shooting the basketball. You cannot miss those free throws, especially both, right? It's bad enough to miss one, let alone you miss both. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Andrew, coming out $2 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Sac and Minnesota's front office are both incompetent. Rob level bad. I mean, look, like I said, I can't judge Rob yet. I want to wait and see what he does. Right? Like I said with Rob, if he does nothing, or he does, like, let's say he just goes and gets Valanciunas and he's like, I did a trade. Yeah, right? Like, then yes, let's grab our pitchforks and let's go, right? But if he ends up pulling off, hey, we get a 3-and-D wing, we got our backup center, you bring in a guard, you go get that other piece or whatever, or go get a Zach LaVine or something, or Brandon Ingram, something like that, then I will, I'll give him his credit, right? But if he's bad and he is incompetent and he just doesn't do the things necessary, right? The last trade he did was the trade that got us to the conference finals. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But I'm not like overly confident that he's going to get everything. Like I'm like 99% sure the Lakers are going to make a trade. That doesn't mean that it's going to be the trade that we need. I'm talking about a trade could be just like Valanciunas and that's it, right? I'm confident that the Lakers will make a trade. Just will Rob be able to make the trades we need to now be in that contention status? That's where I'm concerned. Sacramento and Minnesota absolutely are both incredibly incompetent. It makes zero sense. Let's see. Where was I? Here we go. AD doesn't have that number one option mentality. Yes, agreed. He's like the ultimate number two. AD needs to work on his free throws for the next 3 days or so. Yeah, facts. Absolute facts. We are not okay, LOL. We're definitely not. We still need trades, right? I I like the Lakers' defensive intensity. I like the effort. Like, this is the team. If we had this team all season, we'd probably be like a top 2 or 3 seed right now, right? Like, but we haven't had this team all season, right? So we need this team to kind of get back to being that. Let's see. He missed the free throws before he even shot them. Heavy breathing, closing his eyes, a couple of prayers. Just go out there with confidence and stroke. Well, that's always been his routine. His whole career, it's been his routine. He gets the ball, he puts the ball down, and he does the little eye closing and like breathes, and then he looks up, and it's always kind of been his routine. But yeah, like there's no confidence and him stepping to the line, hitting free throws. Let's see. That's LeBron. That's Levine. That's Levine's best teammate ever. Damn right we need to trade. Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Let's see. Levine's best teammate is that garbage. Let's see. Reaves isn't afraid of the moment he hits his free throws. He's a dog. I've been saying that. I mean, he did this time, but that Orlando game, remember, he missed a free throw too. Granted, it was at like the 3-minute mark, so it wasn't technically crunch time. I mean, well, it was crunch time. Was under 5 minutes, but it wasn't like to go seal the game, because that was the game. Reaves missed a free throw, LeBron missed a free throw, and then AD missed like 4. But Reaves usually, to his credit, usually does hit those in those moments. He usually does step up and knock those down. Stakes coming out, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Strong defense and excellent rebounding by Rui. Yes. I mean, as a team, I really like how this team has been operating. Yes, Rui has been much better in that department, keeping balls alive, crashing, being physical. I really like how this team is playing and operating right now. They look like a basketball team, right? Like they look like an NBA team. And it's just if the offense can just come around a little more, right? A little more regularly. Lakers would be great. Like they're winning games. They're holding teams to 102 average the last 6 games. But they're only scoring like 105, right? Like, but look, a win's a win, tight win or not. But I like the way that this team is playing and operating, like a lot. Let's see. Win's a win, lucky or not. Yes, agreed. Healthy Zion is far better than Zach as a player. Yeah. Look, if you could get Zion, that's where it came from. Speed saying Zion. I missed that. Zion over Zach LaVine. Yes, a healthy Zion, which is the question, right? Can he get right? Which I talked about. I made a video on Zion. It was, again, like I said in the video, it was more of just like, hey, it's just a conversation, right? I don't think it's going to happen, but supposedly he's available for the right price. I do think a couple things. 1, he wants to get out of New Orleans. 2, he wants to be in a big market. Lakers just so happen to be that big market. 3, he's 24 years old. 4, if our new training staff, because you got to remember, because people are like, what's going on with our training staff, right? Christian Wood and Vando were hurt with the previous regime. The new regime has like that Olympic. He was the head of like the Olympics for the USA for like several sports, including the USA basketball. So you think a guy like Zion, if he can come in, kind of play the role, if we can kind of get him right and healthy, maybe my problem with Zion is just health, right? Like there's no Zion when healthy has like top 5 in the league level talent, right? It's just, can he stay healthy, right? Like if we could get Zion, without a doubt, you get Zion. I don't think it's realistic, but turnovers, man, like we got to work on that. As we saw, 1 turnover almost cost us the whole game. It's easy to shift momentum. I need to really work on those turnovers. Yes, they've been better the last few games in the turnover department. Like last Kings game, they had 11. I know that they had more this game. How much did they end? 13. Again, you usually want to be around, ideally, under 10. But, 10, 11, is usually a pretty good time because, things just happen. Lose the ball, lose the handle. Like, turnovers happen. They're part of the game. But you got to, like, minimize turnovers as much as possible. So we can win against good teams with a bad AD game. Yeah, I mean, look, like, we've won with bad AD games. We've won with bad LeBron games. It's just the problem with this team and the way it's currently constructed is the lack of effort on a nightly basis, right? That's the problem. It's just like the Lakers we've seen these last 6 games or so have been a completely different Laker team, right? Like, completely different. But you still need the athletes, right? Like, they have to work twice as hard as somebody that has athleticism, that has the foot speed, that has the things you need, right? That's the difference. 70 Sports coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If Rob does nothing, don't be shocked. LeBron will be a Golden State uniform. He needs to bring it before the trade deadline. Zach over Zion. I mean, yes, I would take Zach over Zion because, one, I think it's more realistic. 2, I just trust Zach to stay healthier than Zion. However, look, I've said it before. Lakers need to pick a direction. Either way, right? I don't care which direction they pick, but they need to choose a direction and stick to it. Do either A, or full rebuild, trade LeBron, trade AD, hit the reset button. Or B, you make the moves necessary and you say F them picks and you do the things necessary to go and build as close to a contender as possible, right? There's no guarantee based on trades and stuff like that what is, that you're going to win a championship, but you need to get as close as you can. And look, it may even be something where, let's say the Lakers get 3 or 4 pieces this trade deadline and it gets us close. There's a ton of players in the offseason that next season we might be able to, like, okay, now we take that lead, right? And LeBron can take a discount and basically take whatever he needs to. You can free up your full mid-level again if you need to, whatever, right? But you got to at least pick a direction, right? Like, if you make the moves, even if you don't win, right, at least you made the effort. At least you did what you were supposed to do, right? My concern is that, like, I am like 99% sure Rob is going to make a trade. That doesn't mean that he's going to make the trade or several trades like we really need. What wouldn't shock me is he goes and he just, like, trades for Valanciunas and then that's it, right? Like, what wouldn't shock me is, like, it's like I got Val, got the backup center, right? Got him early. And let's say the Lakers are better. And let's say that, leading into the trade deadline, they win whatever. They're 7 games, 8 games over 500, something like that. And they're like the 4 or 5 seed, right? And they got a pretty good cushion. They're looking good. They're in the hunt for, like, the 2 seed or something. That is where I could see Rob going, you know what? I think we're good, right? Like, that's where my concern lies, right? Or you get the excuse of, like, hey, I did Valanciunas. I tried to do other trades. There's nothing on the market, right? Type thing. Like, that's my concern. I am confident that he's going to make a trade. I just don't know if he's going to make the trades necessary to get it done. Let's see. The case versus Zach now is a healthy Zion is better. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Look, I would, if I'm the Lakers, like, let's say it's Zion or Zach, I would take Zach. Because, again, like, I just don't think the Lakers are in a position to gamble right now. Zach is also probably going to be cheaper asset-wise than Zion. You probably have to sell the farm to go get Zion. To me, Zion would be the long-term risk. There's also concerns about Zion and LeBron. Now LeBron has no choice but to slide in at the 3 because Zion's one of the few power forwards in the league that is worth LeBron moving to the 3. So personally, I would probably still take Zach just because I trust him more to stay healthy. I think he's a better natural fit. There's no questions about Zach's fit, or there shouldn't be. Obviously, could there be a little bit of a learning curve? Sure, of course. But I think for the most part, that'll be sewed up pretty quickly. But I don't know. I think that, a healthy Zion is better than LaVine, right? Like, both guys healthy. Zion is better, without a doubt. Like, there's no question about, again, Zion has top 5 talent when healthy, and he's 24 years old. You give me the option, hey, if you told me, hey, we can get Zion and he'll be healthy, right? Not like insanely healthy, not like 82 games, but like last season, he played 70 games, right? If you were like, hey, he'll give you 65 to 70 games and be healthy come playoff time, I would absolutely take Zion without a doubt. Just because now in long term, you're just in a much better position. But for right now, given the circumstances, removing like, okay, well, who's better? Like give me the better fit. Give me the guy that has the history of just being healthier, right? Like Zion is the guy that people say Levine is, right? Health wise, Zion is literally the guy. Like people make it out like Zion is this just like he only plays 20 games a season. No, like Zion's the guy that only plays like 20 games a season. That's the difference. Yeah, is that the stat now? 44-12 all time. Let's see. This game proved how much we need a consistent sniper out there. I'd trade for Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson, even if it took both first. Yeah, look, if you can get Cam Johnson, I made a video earlier today diving into, because it kind of feels like, based on the news and the information we keep getting, right? Because we only know what we know, right? We only know the information that's being put out. The commonality seems to be Lakers are talking to teams that have a wing and a center, right? Portland, Jeremy Grant, Robert Williams. Washington, Kyle Kuzma, Jonas Valanciunas. And it seems like they're trying to get both in one swoop, which I understand. It's easier to just trade with one team and get as many pieces as you need than it is to go trade with 4 or 5 other teams. Because, this team wants this team wants this team wants what that team wants. So now it's like, and it's just that it's easier to just like, hey, you have Kyle Kuzma and Valanciunas. What do you want for that? A first and a second, here you go, type thing, right? Like, but I still think out of all the options, the Nets is still the best. If you can get Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Day'Ron Sharpe, I would do that all day. Whatever you got to do to get that done. Give up both firsts. Cam Johnson as having like an insane season this season. Didn't he just drop like 40 the other night? He's having a great season. Dorian Finney-Smith gives you another 3-and-D wing, and you get your backup center that's 23 years old for now in the future, right? I think that's probably the best trade. Go trade for like a Cody Martin from Charlotte. That should take like 2 seconds, maybe 3, and then there you go. Go bring in like a Markelle Fultz, Elfrid Payton, something like that, and let's go try to win a championship. Cam Reddish, amazing on defense. Cam Reddish is great. Tyler, what a close game, bro. How you been? Well, thank you. First off, Lakers Nation, I hope you're doing well as well. I'm wonderful, right? We got another win. It's always good when the Lakers get another win. However, yeah, it was a close game. Definitely one of those, like, when AD missed that first free throw, I was like, oh, he's about to miss the second one, isn't he? He's really about to blow this, isn't he? Our bench hit more threes than the starters did. I was working in the first quarter and started watching second quarter with 8 minutes of you. You caught a good game then. Zion, that's a good one. Zion when healthy is like saying D'Lo when he's athletic. We went in Sacramento and got 2 wins. Yeah, twice on the road in Sacramento. I don't want my drink. My drink's over there. It's okay. And Braun stopped taking basically half-court threes, like 12 seconds. Yeah, that drove me crazy. I didn't like, right? I'm glad on the next play he like put his head down and went to the basket, but it's just like, come on, man. Like, better decision making. It's my like knock with LeBron this season is his poor decision making this year. It's just his decision making has not been great this season. Let's see. I love seeing your face, but you should put up the box scores on a part of the screen. I mean, I get it, but I mean, the post-game stream is usually just us having a conversation. I get, some people want to see stuff. I always review and go over everything at the beginning of the stream. So, like, if you want the information, right, the play-by-play essentially of the game and the stats and stuff like that, be here at the start of the streams because I always go over that stuff. I do my little rant to start. Then I go over, 3-4 minutes in, over all the box scores and everything like that. And then after, 8 to 10 minutes or so, jump into the chat and start having the conversation. So you came in at the start of the conversation time, which I appreciate. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I say go get Levine and Valanciunas right now. I am not against that at all. AD got to get his free throws together. Seriously. But other than that, great win. Yeah, this is a great win. I like the defense. I like what the Lakers are doing. However, yes, it is. It's infuriating. Like, it's insane to me. Like, he's the worst clutch free throw shooter, like, in the league right now. Let's see. Imagine if Rui didn't tap up. Yeah, I am terrified. De'Aaron Fox would have Franz Wagner us. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that either. Again, decision making. Decision making is a problem. A healthy Zion gets you closer to a championship. Levine is an excellent player, but he won't get you over the hump. I mean, again, Zion, I think, is better healthy. But Levine, again, don't underestimate Levine. Don't underestimate Levine. Let's see, trade Dalton. Look, Dalton's going through a slump. It happens. He's a rookie. I've talked about this before, even before he went into a slump. Even when he was shooting the lights out, I talked about how he's gonna have a struggle, right? Steph just went 0 of 7. He's the greatest shooter ever shoot the game, and the guy had probably the worst game by a superstar ever, right? Like, he's gone on droughts that were 2 weeks long. And again, he's the greatest shooter ever. Dalton Knecht, literal role is just catch and shoot threes. Right, so he's not able to get into a rhythm, get into a flow, and he's not getting the minutes, and he's not getting the shot attempts to get himself out of it. Right, LeBron missed what was it, like 25 straight threes, and he just kept jacking like 7-8 threes a game. Why? Because he was trying to shoot himself out of a slump. Dalton Knecht doesn't have that luxury, so he's got to like do it in like 2 attempts a game. Right, he'll eventually have that game where he knocks down his first 1 or 2 threes, and then that'll get the ball rolling. It's shooters. It's a shooter up ebbs and flows. Yeah, again, Knecht. You got to stick with. I said the same stuff about Max Christie, right? Max Christie was being terrible, fell out of the rotation. What did I say? JJ Redick cannot do that. He's got to stick with him. He's got to trust the process. You got to let him figure it out. Same thing with Knecht. You got to let Knecht figure it out. You got to let him go through his ebbs and flows. You got to let him have his bad shooting nights. He's on, whatever it is now, 7-8 game stretch, whatever it is. Even if it's 20, you got to stick with him. You don't want to kill his confidence. You want to stick with him. He'll have that night where he hits, he'll go 2-2 from 3 or 3-3 from 3, and then he'll get back to being that guy. Yes, gotta handle business against Detroit without a doubt. Let's see. Tyler, go. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. We have to get better shooters around 80 so we can start shooting teams out of the trap. Yes, great. That's why Lakers still need a trade. Bad. Like, without a doubt, they need to get a trade. Because you need to get, again, look at what the Lakers have been doing defensively. And imagine if you actually had real defensive pieces and real two-way guys. Imagine how much better the Lakers would be. Imagine how much better the Lakers would look. Games like this, Lakers would probably win by 30. LeBron was the best defender on the court today. He has been the case 5 other times this year. But keep saying Bron 6 defensively. There are far worse defenders than him. Yeah, LeBron, I mentioned this earlier. That's one of the things you really got to applaud LeBron for. During this stretch, he's been getting after it defensively, like active, aggressive, just on guys. And I love that. I love it. Let's see. We're the haters now. Great game. Great win. Yes, I agree. Sabonis equals dirty player. Bro needs to be fine. Most dirtiest players in the league. Yeah. Him and Lou Dort, apparently. Let's see. Defense under 100 again. Yes, agreed. Gotta love to see it. That defense is superb. LeBronto, 3-0 against the Queens. Not the team sweep I was hoping to return, but still 3-0 after going 0-4 against the team is great. I knew AD was going to miss at least one, but both. Rui, thank you. Yeah, Rui saved the day without a doubt. But yeah, still got one more game against Sacramento a week from today. Handle business. Got to sweep it. Go 4-0. Right? And you're going to be at home this time. So handle business. And I like that the Lakers have started to win on the road. Like, that's good too. Right? Because Lakers have been terrible on the road. It's been a real problem with the Lakers. Lakers win chip 2024, 2025. I'm with it. Let's get it. Apparently Cam Johnson might go to the Thunder though. Thunder, thoughts? If that happens, I don't even want to think about that. But I don't know who are they going to give up to go get him? But if they can, that would be tough. If the Thunder can acquire Cam Johnson the way he's playing this season, good luck. Good luck. I mean, now you have your size, you have your versatility, you have your wing, you have your three-point shooter. I mean, you have literally my thoughts are good luck beating OKC. That's the kind, in all honesty, that's the kind of move they need to make. There was like reports that they're interested in Jimmy Butler. Stay as far away from Jimmy Butler as possible. Cam Johnson is the type of guy they need to go get. You know, he's 28, so he's still got him for 4 or 5 years before he starts the decline. Sizable, versatile wing forward defender. Look, if OKC wants him, OKC will get him. They have like 40 first-round picks to trade. At some point, they're going to have to start selling and trading stuff and making decisions. Yeah, I know. I remember DeMar said at Media Day they're guaranteed to go to the Western Conference Finals as they go in for it. Yeah, they'll be lucky to make the play-in. Let's see. Well, thank you, BTS. LeBron is clutch, yes. Seriously, facts. PTSD without a doubt. Let's go Lakers. Yes. Gotta love the win. Yeah, I did shout out Gabe earlier. Gabe has been fantastic. Seriously. He's finally looking like the guy we needed him to be. Knocking down the three ball with consistency. Like I mentioned, the last 11 games. This might be the 12th game. He's been shooting, I think it's 43% from three-point range. He's upped the defensive intensity. He's been better rebounding. He's been better. He's been very, very good. Very, very good. Let's see. Look at Reaves. He played good. Are you still hating? I mean, I talked highly of Reaves earlier today. Talked highly of Reaves 2 nights ago. Again, when Reaves deserves it, I praise him. I mean, he's still at 1 of 7 from 3. So my points on his three-point shooting still stand. But we all know he's a good player. Again, it's not hating. Like, it's funny how many people are like, Tyler, you're a hater for Austin Reaves, but never have a rebuttal. So many people call me a hater when I talk about Austin Reaves, but not as I have yet to hear a single person make counterpoints to argue my points. You know why? Because they don't exist. I'm talking facts. The numbers exist. Google exists. You can look it up. You can watch the games. The eye test exists. You can watch him go 1 of 7 from 3, right? Like him, lack of ball pressure, handling ball pressure is an issue at times, right? Like everything that I've talked about heavily. It's not hating to speak facts. I just called Anthony Davis, the worst free throw shooter in crunch time in the league. Does that mean I'm hating? Does that mean I'm wrong? Like, does that mean I don't? Oh, that's it. Trade Anthony Davis. He's trash. No. Again, there's a difference between facts and feelings, right? Facts don't care about the feelings, right? Like, that's the thing. It's not hating. It's, again, Mr. 81, please, I would love to hear you explain to me how I'm hating and wrong. I am very confident that you don't. Your response would be your feelings. Your response would be, I feel, Austin Reaves is good. It'll be generic responses and generic opinion-based rebuttals. But go ahead, please. I would love, if you believe that I am wrong on Austin Reaves, tell me. Again, tell you what, I'll make it simple for you. In the comments, go look at the contenders right now. Tell me which contending team Austin Reaves would start on, let alone be the third option. Not even the third option, just start on. Which team would that be, and who is he starting over? So instead of you having to go point by point and leaving 15 messages, just tell me which contender. Not talking like, Detroit he might start on, but Detroit's terrible. Sacramento he might start on, but Sacramento's terrible. Talk about contender. What contending team would Austin Reaves start on? And who is he starting over? I'll be looking for your comment. Minnesota. Who is he starting on Minnesota over? And do you think Minnesota is a contender this season? Again, I said contending team. Who is he starting on OKC? Who is he starting on Cleveland? Who is he starting on in Boston? Who is he starting on the contending teams? Do you really think Sacramento or not Sacramento, Minnesota is a contender? And who is he starting over? Dante DiVincenzo's more athletic and a better defender, as well as a better three-point shooter. Mike Conley is a veteran that is a better three-point shooter and better defender. And is he starting over Anthony Edwards? Is he starting over Jaden McDaniels? Again, who is he starting over? I'd love to hear it. But moving on. Cam Johnson, thank you for the Cam Johnson videos. I will not get in him no more. Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. I really do hope that doesn't happen. Let's see. What exactly? 1 of 7 from 3. Exactly. Yeah, must beat the Pistons. Let's see. Very good win. Yes, I am right there with you. I agree. I would like De'Aaron Fox on the Lakers, the Rich Paul client. I would love De'Aaron Fox on the Lakers. Problem is like if he actually becomes available, Lakers they don't have the assets to compete. The only way the Lakers would get De'Aaron Fox is if De'Aaron Fox pulls an Anthony Davis, but he wouldn't be able to do that till next offseason, right? So basically in the offseason, he could be like, because he'd be on the final year of his deal. So he could be like, I only want to go to the Lakers. I don't want to go anywhere else. Send me to the Lakers. I actually think, so like rumors are San Antonio. I actually think that's the best place for him. I think he should go to obviously I'm a Laker guy. I would prefer him on the Lakers. Don't get me wrong. But if I take my Laker bias out of the discussion for a moment, I would say San Antonio is the best place for him to go. Let's see. Everybody want to trade everybody, but we should be 18-10, and we don't even have a Wood, Vando, or Hayes. We're good. We're definitely not good. We're good enough to tread water. We're good enough to stay above, but Vando, without a doubt, would help. Christian Wood, without a doubt, would help. You still lack the thing. You got to understand, playoffs are a completely different beast. Teams are going to attack our weaknesses. Teams are going to pack the paint and try to make everyone else beat you. We don't have the shooting. We don't have the consistency defense, the lack of athleticism. There's so many things that come playoff time are going to completely change. Can we get Fox? I don't believe so. Never say never. Look, I am a firm believer in that. If 8 years ago I told you LeBron James was going to be a Laker, people would tell me I'm crazy and I'm an idiot and I have no idea what I'm talking about. If I said LeBron James and Anthony Davis were going to be Lakers, people would literally try to cancel me off the internet, right? 8 years ago. So again, never say never. If I never like to speak in definitives, but it would be hard. The only way De'Aaron Fox goes to the Lakers is if he forces his way to Lakers. If essentially he says, I will only go to, you can trade for me, what Rich Paul and Anthony Davis did. Hey, you can trade for him. He'll finish the season for you because he has to. He's contractually obligated. But as soon as he leaves, or as soon as he can leave, he's gone. That's it. No one's going to do that for Fox. People did it for Kawhi, but Kawhi at the time was a top 5 player in the league. De'Aaron Fox is great, but he's not that great. You know what I mean? Get rid of Gabe and we're a contender. We are finally the 5th seed. Love it. Lakers sweep the Kings. We got one more game. We got a game a week from now. But go in that and we sweep the Kings, yes. Tyler, can you believe Sac plays again tomorrow at home again? Oh, really? And they're 7-9 or losses, loss-wise. So they're 2-7, 2-9, something like that at home. They're terrible. Yeah, it's crazy. Trade only D'Lo. Look, I still think D'Lo, Gabe, Rui still need to be traded. like all the guys that you need to trade still need to be traded, right? Like that doesn't change, right? Austin Reaves, Max Christie, Dalton Knecht, those guys, right? Again, I don't think anyone's untouchable on the roster, but those are the guys that you're looking to, like, it has to make sense, right? Which I've always maintained. Like, as much as people say I'm an Austin Reaves hater, I've always maintained you don't just trade Austin. Like, I don't want Austin Reaves traded for a bag of chips, but if the right move is there, if you can get a clear upgrade, or if you can get a clear, better fit, right? Let's say, for example, let's say the Lakers trade for Zach LaVine, right? Using that as example. At that point, you no longer need Austin Reaves, right? You'd be better suited with like a Bruce Brown or, a guy like that, similar mold, right? Or a Colin Sex, some athleticism, some point of attack, some defense, right? So to me, depending on everything else you do, I don't think any of the trade guys like D'Lo, Rui, Gabe Vincent all still need to be traded. It's just if you can, like Reaves, Christie, and Knecht, I think depend on are you trying to get that final piece that brings you there, or are you just getting a clear upgrade, right? There's certain elements. Like imagine a list of you have your first guy that should be traded, second, third, fourth, so on and so forth. Let's see. Do you think DeMar should have come to Lakers? I remember him saying he wanted them because they could compete more than the Lakers. Yes. So here's the difference between Sacramento and the Lakers, right? Sacramento already had two guys on the roster that essentially did what DeMar does. One of the reasons why I like the idea of DeMar on the Lakers, which I want to say I had concerns about the fit. And I talked about that when, DeMar, when there was talks about DeMar potentially coming to Lakers, I talked about the fit. Fit was a concern, right? However, the difference between Sacramento and the Lakers don't have a guy like DeMar. Lakers don't have a guy that you can just give the ball to and he can just go get you buckets, right? The closest thing we have to that is Austin Reaves, and he's inconsistent, right? DeMar DeRozan, get you a 20-piece, right? And him slotted in that role. The Lakers needed that badly, right? But Sacramento did not. Sacramento made zero sense for DeMar DeRozan, right? That's the difference. Sacramento has two guys that do exactly what DeMar does. Lakers don't have anyone that can do that. Tyler, they're not going to make any real trades, to be honest. I don't think that they're going to make the LaVine trade. Like, as big as I am on LaVine, obviously you are too. I don't think that they make the LaVine trade. I don't think that they trade for Butler. There's talks about them interested in Butler, which I got a video posted tomorrow about that, right? There's talks about, several, like the star guy, right? I don't think that they'll make that move. I'm almost confident that they get something done, right? Again, that could just be Valanciunas, right? They could just be Valanciunas and that's it, and then they're done. We'll see how it goes, but JJ Redick done turned West Side into Cam Reddish. Oxney D'Lo. LeBron James was fantastic. Let's see. Give Knecht and Quincy more minutes. Problem with Quincy is we just have too many guards right now. Look, Gabe Vincent's finally coming around. And look, I was screaming, 2 weeks ago to play Quincy over Gabe Vincent because it made sense and it was justified. Now, the way Gabe Vincent is playing, you got to stick with Gabe Vincent. However, if the Lakers end up pulling off a trade, I think Quincy now maybe you get a look and maybe makes more sense. Yeah, Gabe Vincent's been good. Great win game. Yeah, facts. I'm right there with you, Nick. Get Clint Capella. I'm not against Clint Capella. I've talked about Clint Capella before. Again, another video that I got to get made and get done. There's just so much Laker news. And, I try to at least let the videos marinate. I know I post 4 a day, but I at least try to let them marinate. But there's just so many guys and teams and stuff, which is good. As a content creator, I need content. Then, so it's not a complaint. It's good, but it's just, I like Clint Capella. I don't hate the idea. He's still an excellent offensive rebounder, still can block shots. He's not what he used to be. He's not like, Houston Clint Capella, but he's still like in a backup role, slotted alongside Anthony Davis. I think would be good. Help with the rebounding, help with a little bit of shot blocking. He floor running big, right? He's basically, Clint Capella is basically what we want Christian Coloco or Jackson Hayes to be, right? Like what we hope Christian Coloco and Jackson Hayes become, that's what Clint Capella already is. But I like it more because he's the expiring, right? So you have flexibility. If it works, great. You can re-sign him, get it done, and maybe give him Valanciunas type contract. But if it doesn't work, then you're fine, right? Like just let him walk and you free up money. Let's see. Get Valanciunas for Gabe. That's on the table. 80, horrible offensive night, choked at the end of the game. You cannot be the leader of this team. Yes, not playing that way, without a doubt. Exactly. Look at how these Lakers are playing right now. Imagine if you really had real athleticism, defenders, and two-way guys. Whew. Oh, yeah. Let's see. The two games before, I like Coloco defensively for some stretches. I even loved him going full Wemby mode all of a sudden. So I like Christian Coloco a lot. I think him as your third big is fun, right? He's perfect. Right? Come in, give you some spot minutes. Anthony Davis gets the night off, right? He can come in and plug in. As your third center, Coloco is great. Could he eventually evolve into, maybe your starting or backup center? Sure. 100%. I mean, he was a project before the blood clots, right? And then he went from not playing for a year and a half to, now we need you to play 20 minutes a game. And I think given the circumstances, Coloco's been great, right? He's really making his stamp. He's really making his presence known and felt. He's fine, right? Like, Christian Coloco deserves nothing but praise, in my opinion. And literally anyone that could shoot and play defense, yeah, even Dorian Finney-Smith. Cam, Dorian Finney-Smith, I am with that 100%. Let's see. How is Dalton not getting burned? Can someone answer that question? Because you're not getting the production from Knecht, and defensively, he's been awful. I mean, he's our worst defensive player. Like, that's not an opinion. That's literally a fact, statistical fact. You can look it up. And the problem is he's not hitting shots. I do think that they need to stick with him more. I mentioned this earlier. I talked about it earlier. You gotta trust the process, right? So I said the same thing for Max Christie, and look, Dalton Knecht will eventually have that game where he flips the script. He's just on a bad slump right now. That doesn't mean that you play Dalton Knecht 40 minutes a game. It just means like you need to keep playing him. You need to keep giving him minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Sacramento, yes, they should have went and got that. You were right about the Kings. They got worse. They didn't need DeMar DeRozan, another isolation scorer, and they needed some perimeter defense. Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, it was blatantly obvious. Like, it wasn't like an opinion thing. It was just like watch the – and look, I've said it. I talked about it more on As It Stands Sports, where I talk about all the other teams. Like, I've been, like, scary right. Like, I've been more right about Sacramento the last 3 years than any other team in the league, right? Like, I said that they would be one of the better teams in the league, but be a first-round exit, but they'd break that playoff drought. I love their team. They're going to be young, athletic, excellent. They're on the right track. Boom, they make it. I said that they were going to regress, but I thought they'd still be a playoff team, but still a first-round exit, right? And then if Malik Monk didn't get hurt, they would have been that. And then this year, I was like, they made the biggest mistake of their lives. They're done. They're cooked. Like, Sacramento's done. And they're cooked. They're done. Sacramento, not going to be anything. Let's see. Tyler, take a shot like the old days. I'll definitely do that when we get when there's a reason to. Still not quite here. Still not quite there yet. Hey, Tyler, would you trade DK for Kessler straight? No picks added? Yes. If no picks, no nothing, and if you could just swap DK for Kessler, yes. I like Dalton Knecht a ton. Walker Kessler is He fits a need for now and the future. He's young enough to be your center for the next 20 plus years. It'd be easier to just go get a shooter than it would be to go get a legit double defensive, one of the best defensive bigs, shot blocking, rim protecting bigs in the league. Yes, I would give Dalton Knecht and a first to go get Walker Kessler. Just because, again, you would add for now and the future, right? Like, to me, it's a no-brainer. I love Dalton Knecht. Defend Dalton Knecht. You never hear me criticize Dalton Knecht because I understand he's a rookie. It happens. The slumps he's going through, it's part of the game. Like I said, Steph Curry just had the worst performance by a superstar probably ever. And but yeah, if you could get Walker Kessler, 100%. Because again, it's not just about his impact right now. It's about now you have your center for the next 10, 15 years, right? Like, why wouldn't you do that? I would love Nikola, so we can have a 5-out offense. You can put him in the corner or leave him on the block, and he'll set better screens for our shooters. Look, I love Nikola offensively. Defensively, kind of gives you trouble. The thing is that the problem with Nikola is he's making $20 million, and to me, for what this team needs, I don't think that there's that big of a drop off for Valanciunas. Nikola is the better player. In a like, hey, I'm putting a 5 together. Would I rather have Valanciunas or Vu? Yeah, it's without a question. It's Vucevic. But the Lakers don't need a starting center that can give you 20-10, right? LeBron's going to be your 4, 80 is going to be 5. You need a backup center that can come in and provide the minutes and play alongside AD at the time, all that stuff. Valanciunas doesn't give you the shooting that Nikola does. He does still stretch the floor a little bit, not the level of shooting. He does give you the playmaking still, and he gives you the low post game that Nikola gives you. He's fine, right? But my biggest difference is like that 10 million difference between Valanciunas and Vucevic is massive for the Lakers because they need multiple people. If we were a Nikola Vucevic away from being a contender, go get Nikola. Like I would, like, no question, no doubt, and this. But like if we needed a 2010 starting center to go take us to the next level, go get him, right? No question asked. The problem is like you could get, for example, the question you have to ask, and I've said this before to people, right? Question you have to ask yourself: would you rather have Nikola or would you rather have Valanciunas and a Dorian Finney-Smith? Because that's the difference, like contract-wise, right? You'd have to add in like a vet minimum guy, but no big deal, right? You'd also clear a spot to get a guy. Tyler, I feel sorry for the Magic. They lost Mo Wagner. He probably got ACL. If this Magic team is healthy, they would probably go to the Eastern Conference. Yeah, Orlando definitely. Dude, they are getting decimated by injury. They are the Pelicans this year, right? But the Eastern Conference version. DeRozan is a horrific defender. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, look, I understand the logic, right? I can't leave that on too long because you said a naughty word and YouTube doesn't like that. But yeah, Cena, like I get why they wanted to trade Cat. I get it. But you didn't have to do it when you did it. Right? Like you were fine you could have done it this offseason coming up. You could have done it at the trade deadline, right? You were just in the conference finals. Add a couple pieces around the edges and see what happens. Who cares about this? Who cares if you're a second apron team? You're a second apron team right now anyway. But if you win a championship, who cares, right? Like you were just there. Why would you break? You didn't need to break it up. If they would have kept him, and let's say they started the season and it was a disaster, then sure, trade him. No big deal, right? Like, yeah, now I get it. The problem is they jumped the gun on it. They made the move too hastily, right? Let's see. Just noticed they gave Dalton 5 minutes. Any reasons? Lack of defense and poor shooting is what it basically boils down to. Let's see what else. Trying to find something. It's Gabe. It's good. Gabe is doing something. Might make it easier to trade him. Yes, agreed. Let's see. Let's see. Lakers should let Knecht get some burn, especially if they are up. Yes. Yeah, I mean, look, this was too close of a game to where you could risk it. So I get why they kept him tight, but yeah. I want to watch this Bulls Celtics game for Levine, but I also want to watch the Warriors. I feel it. Christie is coming along nicely, 100%. I love what we're getting from Christie. He's evolving into that guy that we needed him to be, which is why I'm glad that JJ Redick listens to the show. I'm glad that JJ Redick takes my advice. He called me. He's like, hey, Tyler, what do you think? I was like, look, my guy, listen, let Max Christie keep getting run. It's going to work out. I'm telling you. He was like, all right, man, you got the mind. So, and he did it. And guess what? Now look what he's doing. I wish I had that kind of pull. I wish I could be like, Rob, listen, this is what I need you to do right now. You on the phone? Listen, my guy. I fear the way Rui has been playing, the Lakers won't be willing to trade him for better pieces. Just get DJ, D'Lo, Gabe, get you DJ. Yeah. I mean, look, there's already talks and reports that they don't want to trade Rui, that they see him as a long-term piece. I'm hoping that it's just, strategic, negotiating, right? Like trying to set the price. That's my hope. But yeah, I do have that concern as well. I'm right there with you. Let's see. Let's see. Trevor Lane from Lakers Nation said that Levine not a good match for Lakers. Not a good. I know. He said financially. I don't know if he said that about him playing wise. Because I would disagree. Zach LaVine fit wise is perfect. What teams are we currently rivals with? I mean, a lot of teams try to pretend like they're rivals. I mean, really, the only rivals like the Clippers and the Celtics. Everyone else is kind of just like, some people, Sacramento. Sacramento hasn't been a rival in 25 years, right? Like, let's see. Reaves should be untouchable. He's an all-star caliber player. Reaves better than Levine and Ron combined. Tyler, I'm hoping for Cam Johnson and Kessler somehow. Look, I would sell whatever, give up whatever you have to give up to go do that. I'm right there with you. Let's see. So Zion worth LeBron going to the 3, but 80. Not, man, I don't want to hear it. Go get a center. Because, again, there's a difference, okay? Okay, let me ask you this simple question. Is Zion better than Valanciunas? Is Zion better than Brook Lopez? Is Zion better than any of the centers that are available? You have to be able to justify LeBron going to the 3. Going and getting Nikola Vucevic, right, which would help, but it doesn't have the great, like, Zion is literally top 5 talent when he's healthy. Top 10, let's say, just for argument's sake. Major, like, you're comparing Ferraris to 1992 Hondas, right? It's not even in the same category. That's the difference. Let's see. I don't know why. Look at you, troll. Let's see. Man, imagine Pelinka pull off the Nets trade with Cam, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Dayron, then turn around, pull off the Jazz trade for Sexton Kessler. Believe it can be done. Look, I would give up anything to do that. Sorry, trying to find something. Me. Lakers' chemistry on defense has been spectacular. Once they start knocking down shots, Lakers going to be deadly. Yes, I love the defense. Tyler, would you like Ben Mathurin from Indiana? He takes Jalen Hood-Schifino's minimums and 2 seconds. If you could do it for that, yes, without a doubt, 100%. Like if that, like it was a real option, yeah, 0 questions asked. go get Mathurin. I would even give up 3 seconds for Mathurin. What's up with Jax? Haven't seen him sideline. Yeah, just going through rehab as far as I know. I mean, I haven't seen anything otherwise. He's just going through the rehab process, dealing with the mess. So yeah, that's my guess that he's just out getting work done, getting credit. It could also just be he's just sitting there, right? It's just not on camera, but yeah. Let's see. Trey Mann would be wonderful. Jose Alvarado would be nice little pesky defender, guy that you can just throw on there, be point of attack. If Melton wasn't out for the season, I would love Melton. They need to do 2 moves. They need, like I said, 3 to 4 guys. Like is what they need. They either need, like I mentioned, a ceiling raiser like a Zach LaVine, Brandon Ingram, and then like 1 or 2 mid-tier guys, or they need like a Dorian Finney-Smith, Jonas Valanciunas, Kyle Kuzma, and Mark Fultz or something like that. And I think that they're fine. Moves are definitely needed. Definitely. All the issues that the Lakers have are still there. Hornets definitely have some stuff. How's the Lakers schedule looking? I mean, it's really like hit and miss this season. Like for the most part, it's kind of like you got a couple stretches of games that are really favorable, and then you got a couple stretches of games that aren't. Yes, go get LaVine. Pistons next, then Warriors on Christmas Day. Yes. Let's see. AR is always good. Sometimes the shot doesn't fall, but he knows where to be and what plays to make. AR is so important for this team. No one understands chemistry with LeBron and AD. His contract and production, his hustle, his IQ. List goes on and on. Again, I'm not against keeping Austin Reaves. I've always said, you don't just trade Reaves, just trade Reaves. But if you can turn Reaves into a player that makes you better, you turn Reaves into a player that makes you better. Tyler's not a hater. Yes, I am far from that. Look, when guys deserve praise, they get praise. I don't necessarily think he's better than LaVine, but I think Reaves is more valuable dollar for dollar. The thing is, like I said, you don't need it's not one or the other, right? Like based on the news that we have, like you can keep both. I think though, if you get a Zach LaVine, you need to either move Reaves to the 6th man and let him be that role, which good luck beating the Lakers at that point. Or you need to turn him into something that's just a better fit. Right. Ideally, our perfect center is Robert Williams III when healthy. When he won 2020, we had an athletic big who's a monster defensive. Yeah, healthy Robert Williams III, it would be fantastic. Him or Kessler would be my 2 favorites. Again, it's not like no one ever. People call me a hater for talking about Austin Reaves in a negative light. It's first off, it's such a small minority for one. Like most people agree. Most people are like, for every comment that I get of people that are like, oh, you're just a hater, I get probably 10 from people that are like, thank you. At least somebody's willing to talk about Austin Reaves. Right. So like, I'm not worried about it, but it's funny because people keep saying like, I'm wrong or I'm a hater, but they never have a reason why. Like they never have a rebuttal. Like everything, whenever I say something, they're not like, oh, you're wrong. Here's why. It's always like, well, I feel, or it's all opinion or feeling based. It's not like the facts back it up. It's like, oh, Austin Reaves is better than that. Like, okay, like he's not this 3-point shooter, not this. Like, we all know we are more confident with AR at the line than Anthony, without a doubt, 100%. Let's see, Quincy in a first for center. But Tyler, you're not getting AR production on the contract anywhere else. He's a steal. LA would be foolish to trade. But here's the thing. Again, like if you have the opportunity to go and max out to get and build a real championship team. Again, I don't want to trade Austin Reaves for, Colin Sexton by itself, right? Or like, like a Dorian Finney-Smith by himself. right? Like, I don't want to do that. But like, if you could turn Austin Reaves into like a DeJounte Murray, or you could turn him into some, or like I said, if you can get, let's say you get a Zach LaVine, if you can turn Austin Reaves into like a better point of attack defensive two-way guard, like if you can take Austin Reaves and like whatever, Max Christie or whatever, and now go get a Bruce Brown who gives you the size, the defense, the rim pressure, can defend 1 through 5, that's, you're just a better overall team, right? Because now you getting a guy like a Zach LaVine, you don't need Austin Reaves' strengths. Like the things that Austin Reaves are good at, you no longer need. He's not a good defender. He's not an athlete, right? Those are the two things you would need now, right? So like, let's say best case scenario, right? What would be better for the Lakers? A Austin Reaves, Zach LaVine, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, or a Bruce Brown, Zach LaVine, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, right? Like, that's my point. Right? If you make the big swing trade, then I think you look to move Reaves for a better fit that puts you over the top, right? A better just need. Or you turn him into that upgrade. If those don't exist, then you don't trade him, right? I don't care about the contract. Like, he's great on a contract. That's fine. But if you can go win, like, I want a championship more than I want Austin Reaves on the team. Like, I feel like more people want Austin Reaves on the team than a championship, right? Again, you don't just trade Reaves just to trade Reaves. You don't make a, like, I wouldn't include Reaves in a Jeremy Grant trade. I wouldn't include Reaves in a Kyle Kuzma trade. Like, I wouldn't do that. But like I mentioned, if you can get a better need or a better fit, or you can get a better big time guy, then do that. Reaves is better than D'Lo, but no one's argued that. Like, that's not the argument though, right? D'Lo's getting traded. Like, people always talk about, like, I talk about Reaves a lot. I've talked about D'Lo the last 2 years and trading him more than any player on the roster, because he's the one that's most likely to get traded. Now it probably is that he's going to get traded. And yes, I would rather have Austin. I think they both do the same things. I've even said, depending on what you get, there's an argument for D'Lo over Reaves on certain circumstances. But yes, if you can keep Austin Reaves, you keep Austin Reaves, right? Because of the contract, things like that. But that's not the argument. Again, like I said, give me an argument. You know, it's easy to say, like, I'm a hater, but you need to have an argument. Yeah, like, if we can, sure, right? Who do we consider contenders, though? The top, what is that a real question? The top teams in the league, right? Like, again, Boston, Minnesota, or not Minnesota. I'm sorry, I'm looking at Mr. 81's comment. Boston, Cleveland, the Knicks, go down the list. Take the top 4 or 5 teams for me. Dallas, right? Like, take the top 4 or 5 teams in the East and the West. Who's he starting over, right? Like, let's see. You should double check that. Just letting you know. Double check that. Austin Reaves would start over Christian Brown today. I don't know if they would do that. I think there's definitely an argument there, but I don't know if they do that. Like I said, Christian Brown, better athlete, better defender, right? Austin Reaves, better off the defense. Okay, even if you want to argue Mike Conley, Dante DiVincenzo is better, right? Like, OKC can give up Isaiah Joe, Alex Caruso, $9.8 million, 2 unprotected first for Cam Johnson. That's the case. Lakers can swoop in for Caruso. I would love that. I don't see them trading Caruso though. I think they'd probably give it like one. Brooklyn would probably want like a Dort or something like that instead. Let's see. Exactly. Christian Brown is more athletic. He's a better defender. And you got to keep in mind, Denver's a top 5 offense in the league. They don't need more offense. They need the defense. Let's see. I'm willing to trade Austin Reaves, but I don't want to only for a star. Just give him credit when he plays good. I do. I've praised. again, I've praised Reaves. There's videos, like the videos exist. The things exist, right? Like, again, the archive is here. I don't delete anything. I don't delete comments. I don't delete videos. I don't do any of that stuff. Like, it's all here. I have talked about Austin Reaves like he was the second coming to Michael Jordan. Last offseason, literally last offseason, not this past offseason, last offseason coming up, I thought he was the greatest thing since, the wheel, right? Like, I was like, dude, this guy is the greatest thing ever. And we just got him for 12 million. Like, and again, at what point do we start being honest about Austin Reaves? That's always been my argument, right? Like, I understand what Reaves can do and provide. He's not a star. He's not a superstar. He's none of the things that people try to make him out to be, right? Like, we overhype Austin Reaves at times, right? He's a very good player, but he's not, again, he's not above criticism. I've criticized Anthony Davis to start this live stream. I've been screaming. I have a video on this channel where I was literally screaming at LeBron James, Anthony Davis for blowing the Orlando game, particularly Anthony Davis. If I can criticize LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Austin Reaves isn't above criticism. Crazy, right? Like, again, Austin Reaves is a good player. When he plays well, go watch last live stream. I gave Austin Reaves a ton of praise. I was like, he was great. This is the Austin Reaves we need. This is the Austin Reaves we love. I gave him praise in this game. He was more aggressive, been better defensively. I give Austin Reaves plenty of praise. The problem is people don't want to listen when I give the praise. They only hear, oh, he's criticizing. He's being negative about Reaves. Let me rub one out for him real quick. Like, relax. Like, again, when he plays well, I praise him. When he does a good job, I praise him. When he's inconsistent and he's, turning the ball over heavily and he's, 2 of 15 from the floor, right? Like, yes, he deserves criticism. Again, no one's above criticism. Let's see. Reaves has let us down so many games. Tyler, you're right. Yeah, again, most people do. Right? Only trade AR if it's for a trade. Let's see. Again, I like Austin. I don't hate Austin Reaves. I like Austin Reaves a lot. He's a very good player, but he's not that guy. Imagine if Chicago actually gave us a first for Levine. That would be sweet. I would love that. I would jump all over that in a heartbeat. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something. Me. What if they gave us a first 3 second rounders with Levine? I would do that in without a second thought. I don't know how much of that is just them negotiating tactics or how much of that is like actually true. I hope that that's not true. We are the 5th seed. Wow. Yep. I mean, look, the West is tight though. Lakers go on a 2-game losing streak. They're back at they're back at the 10th seed. So, let's see. Truthfully, from a non-biased outlook, I think the Lakers should pick me up and we should be good. I'm with it. Let's go. If you can be that guy, let's get it. Let's see. D'Lo and Gabe for sure should be traded since they're playing good. Yes. I still want James Harden. What about Cole Anthony? I wouldn't hate Cole Anthony. I just think we have so many bigger needs than him. Let's see. If we do the Wizards trade, get Chris Burt, that's a real 3-and-D, and only making $11 million. I wouldn't be against that at all. If you could get it up, if you could get something like that. I personally don't want Malcolm Brogdon, so there's a lot of talks about the Lakers being linked to Malcolm Brogdon and potentially trading for Malcolm Brogdon. Personally, I do not want Malcolm Brogdon. I think they should stay away from Malcolm Brogdon. The guy just, again, he can't play more than like 40 games a season. All right, I'm going to do a handful of videos or a handful more comments, and then I'm going to go and make some videos was what I was gonna say. So we've been going an hour and a half. So here we go. Sorry, trying to find something to me. Let's see. Don't forget, we got to send out more salary in any trades. Yes, always remember that when you're doing your little thoughts of like, oh, what about this guy? What about that guy? Yes. Keep in mind, got to send out more money. I love seeing the back and forth. Sorry, I'm just trying to find something to me. If LaVine isn't scoring, what else is he bringing to the table? A lot of things. Rebounding, some playmaking. I mean, he's not like a playmaker, but he can make plays. Defense, again, Google exists. Go look it up. Every year, he is either at or above league average defensively. He would be our third best defender per metrics on the Lakers. That's how bad this team is. And it's you also got to keep in mind just the constant pressure and concern that teams would have for LaVine. Even when LaVine's not scoring, teams would be worried about LaVine. He has the athleticism, the foot speed, the quickness, right? The rim pressure. Right? Like he can shoot and is an off-ball threat and can shoot efficiently, right? Like teams can't sag off of Zach LaVine. We've seen games where teams will sag off of Austin Reaves and just, hey, if he starts getting hot, we'll make the adjustment. Yeah, Cam Johnson would be great. Good win, but see how LeBron plays good against a good team. So fans don't trust him. I mean, I don't understand. Are you saying that he doesn't play good against good teams? Let's see. Let's do like two more. I would love Nick Richards and Miles Bridges, and then go after Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith. That would be beautiful. Beautiful. I'm not against that, something like that at all. Lakers are looking for a get back, or Warriors are looking for a get back after getting blown out by 51. Yeah, getting destroyed. So what are we doing before the deadline? Are we doing something? So Lakers I'm very confident that he's going to get, that the Lakers are going to make some trade. Doesn't mean it's going to be the trade that we need. But they'll do like a Valanciunas move or something like that. Problem is Lakers need several trades. They need like 2 or 3 guys. Again, gave Reaves plenty of flowers. Last 2 games, I have been very praising. I can confirm Tyler is the biggest hater and just a man. I'm only a man. Thank you, Bluck. That's why I have you around, to just always make sure that I am reminded I'm only a man. All right, let's do like 2 more and then we get out of here. Some the flamingo level. Let's see. We need a big or a all defensive player. I mean, I'd love an all defense player, but those are very hard to come by. Look, Lakers need a point of attack. They need a 3-and-D wing, and they need a backup center, and then ideally another like low to mid tier wing or guard that can slot in, and then Kessler, DeJounte Murray for Austin Reaves. Would not be against that. What if we have a deadline like Mavs did last season? Let's say get an athletic wing who can develop in a great 3-and-D, Miles Bridges, and get a lob threat, defensive big-minded. I mean, it's not unlikely. I mean, again, 2 seasons ago, Lakers made a trade, and next thing you know, you look up and they were in the conference final. So, yeah, absolutely. It's very possible that something like that could get done. But anyway, I'm going to get on out of here. Been going over an hour and a half. Got to get some videos done. Got to get some videos made for you all for today and tomorrow morning. So yeah, I appreciate you all so much for hanging out with me. Seriously, you guys are beautiful. You guys are awesome. Make sure to hit that like button on the way out, please. Come on, we got to get over 100 likes. I'm at what? 80. I'm at 80 likes. There's 120 of you. I need 20 more likes. Give me the likes. Hit that subscribe button on the way out. If you're not subscribed, I would greatly appreciate it. Everyone that gave me super chats, thank you so much. Seriously, it means a ton. I greatly appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.